got zero friends.
You have just entered the girls' locker room. It's your girl Talita Mokia in here chilling with my ladies, Emma Dean and CJ. What's up, ladies?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm here. As you know, there's a dog somewhere near.
That's
We
why our
like
black are blurred. So animals don't come flying out of space and end up on the videos with us.
That's Brownie. She flies and lands exactly where she's trying to go. I'm like, I didn't know you had hops like that. Okay.
She get up.
She do. She really does. Her and Russell, the others, they don't really do it, but she's on it. So I'm proud. One day I'll show her.
What we talking about tonight, ladies?
So engaged after dating me. So pretty much every guy I've ever dated after our relationship ends, the next girl they're with, like they get engaged, they get married. So it's like, what the fuck is the matter with me? Like why, like why does this keep happening? So yeah, that's the discussion. Why does this keep happening? Like what's going on? Like, is it, am I training them? So I'm training them.
Yeah, you're like boot camp.
Settle in. Let's move out.
I'm fucking boot camp. Well, do I need to send somebody a bill? Like, damn.
Yes.
Bill of wives.
Right? Let me bill the wives. Let me show up at the wedding, run around in a wedding dress. It should have been mine. I actually had a friend
that they're devastated after losing you. So the next female, they just like, nah, I'm not losing this one too.
Exactly. So I'm gonna go that extra mile and marry her, even though I may not want to, but I'm going to because I already messed up once. I'm not gonna do it again. You know, men and their pride. It's not true.
I did have a friend tell me one time when we were talking about it, like in a group chat, she was just like, it's because you're emotionally unavailable. And I was just like,
are you?
Possibly, probably, yeah, in all honesty. Like, and yet again, that's why we're here to work through it.
Talk about whatever. But and I hate to be the one, but I'm gonna say it.
Yeah,
men are like babies. They want that attention constantly. And if you are emotionally available, that definitely can pose as a problem because they need their nose wiped, their pamper changed, they need their bottle or breast milk. You know, they prefer the breast milk, but whatever, you know, they need that. And so if but if you're not there for that, then 9 times out of 10, they are going to try to look elsewhere because they feel they need it. They literally need it. It's like to breathe.
Yeah, and like CJ is saying, it could be like if you are emotionally unavailable, that next female they get with, if she's needy, they all over. Because they feel like they've been deprived, so they feel like, oh, I'm gonna get this, this person needs me, like I'm gonna save her because I couldn't save him, even though you're a superhero and you don't need saving. They don't understand that. But I don't know, men are crazy. Men are crazy. Crazy. Women are crazy too. Women are crazy too because listen, I've had my share of people saying to me like, I made him better for you. And I'm like, girl, he was a piece of junk when I got him. I had to put him in the shop and do repair work.
In other words, you gave me a lemon that I turned into lemon.
Right. You didn't even sell me a lemon. You gave it to me. And now you're mad.
I found it on the street.
Bruised up. Them lemons was bruised.
And it had no juice. Here I go rolling. It's ridiculous. But so they just women who feel like when the male move on, that they're getting something, they're doing something different. women feel the same way too sometimes. Like, oh, I was doing all of this for him, and now you come along and he married you. And I'm like, you should have worked a little harder, girl. Because what you gave me was not it. So they might feel like their wives or their fiancés might feel that way about you, Em. Like, she gave me this lemon. And you're like, why did he go and get engaged? And she's like, he's still trash. Believe me, I'm working on it. The gift and a curse.
I like to think that I'm a contention in many of my former relationships when my name comes up there.
It's hard. Relationships are definitely hard, but I mean, in all actuality, it goes the other way too. A lot of guys think, oh, I'm the best thing since, sliced bread or whatever. But
I don't even like sliced bread, but go ahead.
But the girl they're dating will turn around and marry someone else.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it does go both ways.
Yeah.
It does. So it's not necessarily, you or whatever. It's just, first of all, we're in a time where everything's fucking backwards and difficult. I'm going to be honest. Like, everything's difficult. Communication is out the window. Attitudes is on 100. It's just ugly. It really is. It's just ugly. So it's really hard to genuinely be yourself and be in a halfway decent relationship.
This is true.
Or becoming so, like, I guess with a lot of mine is like I just become very codependent, and then I don't know, just so codependent and clingy, and then we're all in everybody's lives, and then all of a sudden it's just like blows up and we hate each other, and maybe learning to balance.
Yeah,
really balancing would probably be a good thing. Learning to balance them better, and myself, and loving myself better. Like, I have to have a relationship with myself first before I can have a relationship with somebody. I have to love myself first before anybody else can love me. So just working on these things, and then maybe a rich husband with a beach house and a yacht will come.
Or he's gonna be dead broke with no beach house and no boat, but have the potential to get you that beach house and that boat. And what you thought was codependency is going to be the proper support he needs to get you that house and that boat. And it's going to be so much better because y'all did it together.
It's true. That is true. Building.
Yeah. You and then you got to know, like, everybody ain't worth building. Everybody ain't worth repair. Everybody ain't worth you getting the limit and driving it into the repair shop. Sometimes you just got to leave that broke ass car on the side of the road. And whoever comes next, that's on them.
And that was going to lead into my point, how, you'll get your own. Fuck it. You just want to be with someone that's going to help add to what you got going on. Look, I'm not mad. We had a good time, but obviously this is not for either one of us. Go do you, because I'm still building and doing me. And like you said, the right man will come along and he's going to add his house and boat and whatnot to your house and boat. And boom, y'all got houses and boats.
Y'all got the winter house and the summer house.
Hey.
Bilingual babies.
Either one, whatever makes you happy. But it'll be you guys together. And it's not necessarily about wanting someone to do it for you or just looking for someone who's already at that level. No, if I see the potential, I'm all in. Because at the end of the day, you might need someone to give you that extra rub on the back or whatever. But if I see you just straight trash, what you say, the lemon on the side of the road?
The lemon, sometimes you just got to leave that thing on the side of the road.
Then that's where you got to get left. But the potential is there.
That's a new t-shirt. You got to leave that lemon on the side of the road.
Leave it there. Leave it. Whoever come get it next, that's their problem. Make sure you take the deed out and destroy it so they don't know you own it. You gotta drop it back off at your house. See, and that be the thing too. Like, we look at it like the person who was in the relationship and then the next person moved on and got engaged or got married. We kind of look at it like, why they didn't do that with me? If that's what they wanted, we could have did that. But sometimes that it's too much work to put in. Like, it's too much work. And if you can't see that potential there, it's like, I don't I'm not investing this much time, effort, and energy into somebody that is trash. Like, it's trash. Like, go outside to the curb and let the trash man come and get you. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm gonna put a trash bag in you and I'm gonna dump you where you need to go. I just think because like I've been in relationships where people have left and moved on, gotten married, and I was in a relationship and I didn't even know the dude got married while we was together.
My God.
We was together.
That's the lemon that should have been on the side of the road.
Got married and was like, oh, I just gotta, they didn't live here. They didn't live with in New York when I lived in New York. And they'd be like, oh, when I come, I gotta stop my baby mother house first to see my baby mother. That was the wife.
A whole wife. Papers.
But it was just like, oh, I'm trying to keep the peace because I got a baby with her, blah, 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 blah. But we was dating, we broke up, you had a baby with her. And then we started back dating again while she was pregnant because y'all broke up. So where did I get married? Like, I was so like shocked. And I kind of was like hurt. Like, if that's what you wanted, like we was together before you and her. And you know I didn't have an issue with you having a kid. Like, why not me? And he married her when I found out, like it was over and done with. And then like 7 or 8 months later, you in my inbox talking about, oh, I miss you. And I'm like, where's your wife? Oh, we got a divorce.
What?
Excuse me?
That could be an annulment.
Because
Yes.
Well, I don't know how long, honestly, I don't know how long they was married before I found out. That is the thing. So he was like, we got a divorce. And I'm like, so I'm over here feeling crazy about myself when it's not even me. It's you. You're trash. You're trash. And I saw a little bit of potential and was willing to put the work in, but clearly she saw some too, and she realized you was trash. And I'm kind of glad that she took you to the curb before me so I didn't have to. But then you also have those people where you are with them and you like, and they like, oh, I want you to marry me. And I'm like, marry who? Not you. I'm not. I see the potential, but I'm not willing to put the work in. It's too much damage.
Yeah.
It's a difference between dropping an engine and a transmission and changing the seat covers. Bruh, I'm not doing all of that. That's a lot.
I changed the seat covers, but when it comes to engine and transmission, I'm gonna go on the front seat. Take
I'm
you
gonna go ahead and park you on the side of the road.
lemon, whatever, on the street.
You need an engine and transmission now. If you need an engine and seat covers, we could talk. But if you need engine and a transmission, that's a lot. It ain't even worth it. And depending on how much miles you got on you, it might cost me more to get you repaired than it's gonna cost me to get rid of you.
Or get a new one.
Right.
Hello. I don't know. I guess the only relationship that ended not as I expected, but I was okay with was, and the only reason I bring it up is because it's the only one that technically mattered. I don't know. I never really cared. I dated, but it was what it was. If I felt you were starting to get on my nerve, if I wasn't feeling you, then, I just started doing stupid shit. Now, and here's the thing. So my daughter's father and I, of course, broke up or whatever. He was actually cheating on me while I was pregnant with her, and I didn't find out until after she was born. And it didn't start until like the 8th month of me being pregnant. But that's the minor point. The major point is when we broke up, I wasn't surprised and I wasn't hurt. And I say that only because I was being a dick to him. I technically was pushing him away. And so I'll go ahead and accept that. I know that's what I did. And I don't know if it was the pregnancy hormones. I don't know if he was being an actual dick. I don't know. Guess what? I don't care. The point is, he actually did me a favor. Not because I found, my husband or whatever, but because I knew he wasn't fucking much to begin with. And, I'm not going to put all his business out there, but it is what it is.
You
I'm
parked his
just
ass
glad.
on the side of the road, and whoever came and got him next was their problem.
And that shit wound up being a problem. But again, that's not my business or my concern. I'm just happy I'm where I'm at and I feel blessed. But yeah, I can admit that I did things to push men away. I don't know if it was because I got bored of them. I don't know if it was because, again, they were dicks, but I did do that. I had men that wanted to be more than just what I wanted them to be. I pushed them away. So whatever.
Well, I can say, not to put your business in the street, but the girl who was with your husband prior to you, she feel that way. She feel that way. She feel
What?
that way too.
Feel away of what?
Like
Okay.
he left me and got married.
Oh! But that's.
And I know that for a fact.
So, and I've heard it continuously. I mean, it's been, I've been on the phone when I heard, stupid shit coming out of her mouth. It is what it is. I don't know where shit went wrong. But the thing that pisses me off is actually it was two of them or whatever. And the thing that pissed me off is I can understand if I was fucking with him while he was fucking with one of y'all. He was a single fucking man. Y'all knew it, he knew it, and I knew it. Now, he and I clicked. I saw potential. He saw potential, and we clicked. And because of that reason, that's why we're here 112 years later. As a matter of fact, our 16-year anniversary, being together, married 16 years is in 4 days, and we've been together 20 years.
Well, happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you. Have a little drinky drink or whatever. But the point is, and I'm gonna say it every time. For all of you who are listening, know your worth. Some shit may happen that may hurt your feelings, but know your worth and know you're going to get past that and move on, because I didn't expect to be raising my daughter from day one by myself, but I did. So it was what it was. Yeah, occasional, father came and picked her up, but for the most part, I was the main parent. And because of that reason, okay, whatever. I got to move forward. I knew what it was. I just got an extra mouth to feed and an extra life to care for, but I'm not going to let it stop me. And I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't.
You just got to know, like you said, know your worth. Know what you're willing to put up with. Like, know your boundaries. Like, I tell people all the time, people be like, oh, I forgave my mate for cheating on me, whether it's the boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. I forgave my mate for cheating on me. But then 3 months later, it's all over Facebook that you're pissed off that he cheated, but you still talking about that same instance. It's about knowing your boundaries. If you know you can't forgive someone for doing something, then you have to be okay with letting them go. Don't say I forgave you and then come back and be like, oh no, I didn't. I'm still upset about it. If you forgave me, you can't be upset about it again.
Just arguing about the same crap.
Right. You got to know your boundaries. And if you broke up with somebody because they wasn't that person for you, then you got to be okay with them going to marry somebody else. It's like, okay, like I understand you wanted a wife. I wasn't that wife for you because I parked your ass on the side of the road.
True.
I mean, but be honest. Did you see you marrying some of these people?
Yeah, some of them, I think. Yeah. Yeah. But
Did you see yourself being okay with being unhappily married with them?
See, that's where I didn't put in the work, I think. I was just thinking about happy-go-lucky, and yet again, growth and development, learning, was me putting in the work. And, it takes two. It's just not one-sided, and it's not bulldozing someone or, gaslighting them or, fake crying and victimizing yourself to get what you want. I mean, it's not manipulation because, unfortunately, I grew up in a manipulative house. Like, that's a lot of what I saw in the relationships that I was around growing up was like, you know, a lot of manipulation and, you know, it's victimization. And if you yell at me, I'm just going to start crying because like you yelled at me. And, you know, that spilled over a lot into like my sports at the time, like during high school and things like that. And I've slowly like moved out of that. And I'm trying to be more conscious in my relationships about how I act and try not to play that victim and not repeat the things that I saw growing up, because fighting was very normal in my house. Like, you know, like my parents like fought like very frequently. My mother would say, like, I remember watching my parents one time, my mom picked up a bottle of soda and threw it at my dad, and my dad reared back to hit her, and she was like, go ahead and hit me because I'm gonna get me a farm. You know, and she goaded him on purpose because she wanted him to do that. And I have like thinking back, I have seen that. Like I have goaded people. I have like, you know, said shit to them to push them to the point that they want to have a physical altercation. But that's like what I grew up with. Now, granted, dad never did that. You know, he was always kind of the calmer one in the relationship. But in that one instance, you know, that definitely sticks out. Like, that's not healthy. And, you know, like acting this way in my relationships, like, I don't need to perpetuate that generational trauma.
Right.
So, slowly working on it, trying to be conscious of, you know, how I act in relationships and act mature, maintain calm, and you know, just not be a bitch, like try to be normal, because I haven't really had normal examples in my life.
It sounds like you are deciding to be different than what you've seen.
Trying.
And
Trying to.
but making a decision to do it is a step. Actually putting in the work to get it done, it's a journey. And it's gonna be constant, because even when you get in that relationship, that's gonna lead to marriage or a lifelong relationship. It may not be marriage, I just may be together for 50 years. You're gonna see those behaviors starting to come up because that's normal for you. But you making a decision and being conscious to be like, okay, I saw this, let me step back. And maybe we need to take not a break, like separate, but maybe I need to go in the living room and you need to go in the bedroom, or I need to go for a drive, or maybe you need to go for a drive. Is what's gonna help. When you're younger, you're just really going by what you have seen. Like, I remember when my husband first got together, I would go upside his fucking head. Like, if he raised his voice, I was on him like white.
Must run in the family. People found out quick though.
I'm like, it's so I was on him like white. If he raised his voice, like, don't scream at me because I'm ready to fight. But I was raised in a very traumatic household. My mother was domestically abused by her husband, like bad. We'll get into that in another episode, but I mean like bad. So it traumatized me. And it always started with him screaming at her. It was never like, right. If he was screaming or yelling. So anytime my husband would like scream at me, I would start swinging. And I had to like, I remember we got into it one time and he was like, I'm leaving. And my oldest daughter was like, got her bag and started throwing like overnight, like going, like she was going with him, like packing her shit. Like, I'm out, I'm leaving with him. And that was the point for me to be like, oh, I have to be better. And that was the point where I made the decision to be conscious and not do those things. Like when I seen things that was triggering me, I had to learn like, okay, don't do that, because I was perpetuating something on my children that was perpetuated on me, but in the reverse.
Mm-hmm.
You were the aggressor.
I was triggering them. So I had to learn like, okay, tell you, when you get triggered, you need to go for a walk. You need to go outside. You need to do something other than being in it, because being in a relationship, you're going to yell, you're going to scream, we're going to cry. But it's a difference between using it for manipulation or being triggered by it. Like, okay, he would get upset, he would yell and scream, and I'd be like, okay, I gotta go because I want to fight now. So to avoid a bad situation, I'm gonna just leave. And when I come back, he's calm, I'm calm. And now we can start to process what really happened and what went wrong. But yeah, I totally get where you're coming from, but it comes with you making that choice and making that decision. Like, okay, this is not what I want. So them getting married after they left you, it's beneficial for the person who's gonna be with you forever, because now you're at a place where you can understand those things. Like, oh, why am I crying for no reason? Like, there's no reason for me to cry. Okay, I'm using manipulation. I need to go. I'll be back. Type situation. Not angrily or anything like that, but just like, okay, I'll be back, and pull yourself together. But at that point, if you would have married any of them, potentially could have ended in divorce or
Worst.
or miserable death, jail. Like things go left quick,
Mexico.
right? Ran across the border. Where you at?
She wants a bilingual child. There's
I'm in
nothing wrong with
Cuba.
that. You can start there. Start there. They're pretty cool too. So.
Non-extradition country, like
Right?
China or Russia at this point. I think that's the only place we're safe.
That's
Anyway.
it. But it's beneficial, like, that it happened after, they got what they wanted, because maybe that was what they wanted in their life. But it wasn't, you weren't in a place, it wasn't a time and place for you where you were ready for that. But now you're starting to heal. It's the difference between being healed and healing. People think, oh, I'm healed. No, healing is a journey. You're healing. And
Like,
sometimes you fighting tooth and nail. You feel like you're fighting for your life on that journey, but you're starting to heal. So it's okay. You got to look at it and be like, oh, okay, like, congratulations. Oh, your baby's beautiful. You can get to the point, like, where you can feel like you didn't miss out. Because if you would have married them and had a kid, that's 10 times worse.
Yep.
Exactly. So much involved.
So
and it's crazy. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying something like, it's better for you that it's going to happen for you later. It's not like it might happen. It's gonna happen for you later because you're willing to put in the work now.
And you'll know it because it's gonna feel right. So, I grew up in a single parent household with mom only and my brothers. So I didn't have domestic violence or nothing like that. And I think that's why I didn't, if the first sign of fucking fuckery, I'm fighting back and we're done. I will put up with a lot of shit, but you putting your hands on me is not going to be one of them. Like, seriously. So that experience I didn't have. I've heard stories, I've saw stuff, so I'm not a fan of it, but again, that topic is for a different day. But you'll know
Like
when person.
you were strong enough to walk away when your
Mhm.
daughter father was being who he was, because your childhood consisted of a strong single mother.
Yeah.
When I watched my mother get out of her abusive marriage, it made me a stronger woman. Like, okay, I can conquer anything. Like, she walked away, she had nothing. Like, we lived in a project, she had no job, she had nothing. And she built herself from that. So it taught me tenacity. Like, it taught me to just like go, 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 go. So our childhood like, people don't understand, our childhood do play a part. But when a big part in who we are as adults. But it's when you're ready to start putting in the work to change those things that you start to see different things in your life. So, like, don't be surprised when you start attracting different kind of men, because you're going to attract the men for where you're going.
Mm-hmm. And
it's going to seem crazy to you. You're going to be like, what? Like me? There's an imposter syndrome going to come back on you in a different way. You're going to be like,
that'll be our next episode.
You're going to be like,
the men of Emily's Boudoir.
There's actually another podcast for that.
Okay.
Podcast. Y'all have to come to that one too. We gotta bring Jen over.
Locker room after dark. Girls' locker room after dark.
X-rated.
Hello.
X-rated, like the BTS.
Triple X.
But yeah, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. I think we both, like me and CJ both, can tell you, like, I'm pretty sure when she met her husband, because when I met her husband, I was like, nobody want to marry him. But
You lived
I'm
with him
a
way longer
husband.
than
I'm a husband when I was born. So I was kind of like, nobody gonna want to marry him. You know, growing up, it was like, ew, really? A girl?
you lived with him first. You knew this shit. Didn't even warn me.
No, I'm playing.
I need sign language, nothing. Say no, none of that.
But
Just let it go.
when the package arrived, it wasn't what we thought it was gonna be. And now look at the package. Like you look at it now, you're like, I put a little work in on me. He put a little work in on him. We put on a little work in together. And now look at the life we built. It ain't perfect because we're still growing and healing and doing things differently. But it becomes worth it at that point because you could see the difference because that person's gonna come along and they're gonna start to change you and gonna want you to work on you more. Like CJ husband comes from the same background I come from. But he wasn't out here putting his hands on women. He was out here getting hands put on him.
Wow. That is so sad.
It made me aggressive and it made him meek because he didn't want to be that person.
Yeah.
So, you know, and he had to learn to be different. Like he has an aggressive side, but when you meet him, you'll see you hardly ever see that side of him. Hardly ever. It's there, and when it comes out, it's scary, but you don't hardly ever see it, and he doesn't use it to gaslight or to manipulate his family. He does it in a protective way, you know?
And it may be annoying, however, it's understood.
So annoying. And my husband, you know, he was raised by his grandparents. So all he's ever seen was he didn't come from that kind of like background and lifestyle. All he ever seen relationship wise was his grandfather doting on his grandmother. So that made me want to be a better person because I'm like, this man is doting on me and I'm busting him in the face. This is not a good situation. So
he getting the hands and he trying to give the love. That's
right. So, but it made me want to be a better person, and I want that for you. I want you to experience that, and I want you to be open to experiencing it, and you know, continue working on you so that when you see that manipulation and all of that gaslighting start coming up in your behavior, you could be like, we're not doing that. Or if you see, sometimes the person you're with is making you that like that. So you got to know that's not the person, you know. I want you to experience that person who's gonna bring out the very, very best of you and make you want to be the best version of you for them, for your family. You know, it's coming. Be a little patient.
Live my single life. Go travel more because they won't want to travel with me.
They might not be able to. You need to do your traveling because you might be still traveling by yourself. Okay, we do a girls trip.
Ooh, yeah.
Hello. Passport should be here soon. I'm waiting. But it's hard. Like I said, I think we've all been on both sides of the feeling. I've pushed people away. I've been pushed away, just we have to know what we want. And then that way, when we are with someone, we don't have to be fake.
Right.
Like it's either we're gonna do it or we're not. We don't have to be fake because we know what we want and we know how we feel about certain things. So you got this. You're not a bad looking female. So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Get you out to a football game or two. I got you.
Can we go to a football game, y'all? Actually, got a little 19-year-old football player for WVU I've been talking to.
Okay.
You got a whole football player in your back pocket?
I mean, I gotta check out at this point, man. Like,
well, you gotta listen.
Look, do whatever you gotta do. I ain't hating. Get me tickets.
I'll try. I'm working on that. Actually, I'll send him a message here soon. I told him he should play football in Europe and explained why. And he was like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. And because like the size in Europe for football players is like 6 foot and he's like 6'3". So, you know, you could do pretty well over there.
Ooh, okay.
And they make like 6 figures. So why not?
I'm just saying.
Is that
My
house and
passport
boat?
should be in a few weeks. So I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. But you never know. And he might be the one, he might not be, but you're young. There's no need to not do what's best for you.
Yeah, y'all heard it here in the girls' locker room. Do what's best for you. Don't worry about what happened and where they left and how they doing and whatever. But just know that what's for you will be for you, and it's gonna happen for you in your timing, not everybody else's timing. We enjoyed you guys. Thanks for kicking it with us. Like, subscribe, comment. Leave us some comments down in the bottom. Follow us over on IG at the girls' locker room.
And if you want us to talk about something, let us know.
Yep, leave us a comment. Let us know. We all over it, and we will catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
I got 0 friends.